By the time people get to our doorstep, something wrong has happened, and they're trying to make it right. They are looking for resources, they're looking for tools, they're looking for someone to say, although I didn't know your loved one, I kind of know what you're going through. I'm kind of the expert in this thing. I'm part of this club that nobody wants to be a part of. Now that you made it to me though, let's see what we can do to help you get empowered and how you can normalize this situation. The world is asking you to be normal when an abnormal thing has happened to you.
Lewis being killed back in the late 80s, early 90s, when young black men were going into then Boston City Hospital, it was this justification as to why they were killed. And for me, I wanted to make sure that even if he was gang involved, even if he had a criminal record, he still belonged to somebody.
Being a classmate of Louis D. Brown, I remember he thought that if peace was going to happen, first it was going to happen with our generation, and he was going to be the first black president. He was always encouraging and always saying the right things to keep us on track. He was young and he was on fire. Tina produced exactly what I think Louis dreamt.
After the city or society found out that Lewis was not gang involved, that he was a good student, that he had goals, dreams, and values, abundance of resources opened up for us. I thought that this was a natural thing. When I realized, well, Tina, your son was a good child, so therefore you're gonna get everything. And for me, it was like, okay, well, if we as a society can respond effective and equitable to who we feel is worthy, then we can respond effective and equitable to all families because they are worthy. When gang and guns continue to happen, how do we put things in place? How do we look at what the researchers said? When we don't respond to families effective and equitable, that cycle of retaliatory violence continues.
I never thought in 100 years that I would need to use their services, that a tragedy would hit my door. In 2007, my son, Warren Daniel Hairston, at the age of 21, was shot and killed and left for dead. When he died, they didn't acknowledge him. They put his criminal record in the paper. They affiliated him with the H Block gang. I was just numb. I went through severe depression, bitterness, and hatred. Up until that point, I had supported so many of my friends when they lost their loved ones, but now here it was my turn. And when I lost my son, I still needed support. I still needed to be around other people that understood what I was going through. And I remember the Peace Institute and the support they offered.
I'm just sitting there trying to figure out what can I do that make this mother, this brother, this father who lost their loved one feel a little bit less burdened. Feel like not every conversation is not about how he or she died, but how did they live? That's what you get at the Peace Institute. Tell me about your loved one. Tell me about why you love them so much.
As a survivor, there's a different type of healing. There's a different type of support you need in order to go forward. And that's what I get from the Peace Institute.
This is a fueling station, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You can come, you need a hug? Come on over to 15 Christopher Street. We got one for you. It's that simple. And it's this simple idea that is so big. Just treat people how they want to be treated. That's what Tina does all day, every day.
It's like I took baby steps. First I started with the walk, And then I started doing community work. One of the things that we were able to do was educate and empower a lot of women, young and old. We was all there for one common purpose.
I believe that we have transformed the way the outside world sees us, people of color, communities in urban settings. That we have shifted from always being viewed as a place where something bad happens to a place where something good, to the assets of community, to finding a way to valuing who we are as a people. And it's really who Lewis was, that he believed that if true peace was to be achieved, it would be up to his generation, regardless of which side of the streets.
There are hundreds of pins up there that families need their loved one to be remembered. And every time I walk by that memorial, I say, that person mattered. That person matters. That person is loved. And that person should be remembered forever.